everyone. Welcome back to Eat Prep Love. I'm so excited to be here. I missed everyone. I missed doing this for a week. Obviously, I was still cooking my own meals, but I was enjoying it with you, and I love doing this, even though I'm like basically talking to myself a little bit over here. But if anyone is watching, hi. I am so happy to have you here. I'm open to all of your questions. If you want to ask them in the chat, I am here for them. I think I can see them. Yeah. Okay, cool. So today, here we go. Sorry, I'm waiting actually 1 second. It's funny, I've been doing this for, I think we've been doing this for like January, almost 2 months. We're really close to hitting the 2-month mark. In fact, we may have already hit it. I don't know, you guys. Anyway, I am obsessed with this, and I still don't know. I still don't know exactly how to make sure everyone is involved here. I think everyone is. I think this is totally live, but you know, learning curves, they're fun, right? So today we are making like some of my favorite things. We always do kind of make some of my favorite things, and basically we're doing a spicy noodle dish, a spicy nutty nut butter noodle. I put peanut butter on our grocery list, but I'm going to use some almond butter. You can also use tahini if you want something totally nut-free. That's not a big deal at all. It's all going to taste really good. As you know, I use tahini for like everything. So that is one thing we're going to make. We're going to make a Tamari ginger sheet pan meal. We're going to use chicken or salmon if you are looking for a little animal protein, a little meat sort of situation, or if you're like me who's vegan and I'm only cooking for me, I'm going to use eggplant. You can also use cauliflower. I note these sort of vegetables so that I don't know, I feel like they're the most like satisfying of like the vegetables, like in terms of meatiness, and they're just more, I don't know, there's like they help with the satiety. I was trying to use that word. Okay, so that's what we're making. We're also making a Mediterranean lentil salad, something that you can keep in your fridge. You can have the option to add in some avocado. You can add in some kale, some massaged kale. I'm going to do that. You can also add in some olives. These are all really yummy things. I love them. So let's just get started. Let's do it. One thing I do want to say before we get started, and it's really, really fun. So some of you know I've been working with Everlast, which is a really beautifully designed platform. And that's been helping me stay organized and clear-headed and grounded. And it's been helping me, just really, it's been helping me with getting through all the juggling that I do constantly. Especially with like my emotional health, going through my breakup right now has just been a lot on my mental, and that affects everything. So Everlast has been amazing with that. And just with being a chef, gut health educator, all these things that I do. And I've been working with my Everlast health coach, and that has been amazing. So basically, the founder, Gonzo, who I am close with and I talk to, and he's gotten me to the level of being the ambassador of the gut health program, like the gut health ambassador, the ambassador of the gut health program, like the only one. So I'm working with people directly, but they're in beta, which is, basically means they're still working on things. They are offering 10 of you free memberships, literally just so they can get your feedback, and they want to, they're just testing things out. So after this, I'll throw in some information in the email when I send out the recording. But yeah, I just want to put it out there. They're offering 10 memberships to anyone who wants to just try it out for free. This is it's really cool. It's been really amazing for me, and I think it'd be really cool for you. So that's it. Getting started. Let's just do it. So I am going to move over. We're going to do the Tamari sheet pan situation. We'll start there. So let's head over. So as I mentioned, I've already lined up, God, that light. I've already lined a parchment lined paper here, or parchment lined sheet here, and then our oven is set to 400. I marinated the eggplant. I'm using like an Asian eggplant. I marinated it here, and oh, I'm gonna, oh my, it's dripping. Awesome. Just a little bit. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we are going to put it on our sheet pan. If you are doing cauliflower eggplant, I suggest doing this at for 20, 25 minutes. If you're doing chicken, about 20 minutes. Salmon, about 12 to 15 minutes. Salmon cooks really quickly. So just put it on your sheet. I'm gonna recycle this, I promise. I'm gonna put this on the sheet, and then these are the veggies I'm using. I'm gonna use oyster mushrooms. I just love an oyster mushroom. Some cabbage, some sugar snap peas. I love them right now. It's springy, it's vibrant. Some zucchini, and and I'm gonna cover all the veggies in this marinade. I just honestly, I know in the instructions on your recipes it says to use half the marinade. You can just use it all, and then ultimately we'll cover the veggies with the marinade. It's no problem at all. It's all being cooked together on one sheet pan anyways, so, which we love. That's easy. We love a sheet pan meal over here at Eat Prep Love. Eat Prep lovers love to make things taste delicious and easy and efficient. That is one of our laws over here. So that's what we're following. I also scored the eggplant. It just gets the flavor in more. I also salted the eggplant, and then after 20, I let it sit, to let the moisture release. After 20 minutes, I pat dried it really, really well. So to the marinade, I didn't add any salt because there's already salt in the eggplant from salting it to try to get that moisture out. So not salting it or adding salt to the marinade, because it'll just be so salty, it's crazy. I also accidentally bought this salt that's a little bit more coarse, and I meant to get more of a sprinkle, easy table salt that, is good, a sea salt, and it's so coarse, it's annoying. So I've been using Maldon salt, and if you know, and you use Maldon salt, it's expensive, right? So using it as my primary table salt has been just expensive and not fun. I really need to get some new salt. So I'm gonna pop this in for 20 minutes. Over here. Go. And then, oh my god, I'm getting this in my hair. Let's get this timer going for about 20 minutes. Let's do it. Amazing. Okay, next thing's next. We are all the stuff I made. We are gonna do the noodles. We're gonna do the noodles with the almond butter, not the peanut butter for me. Use peanut butter if you want, use tahini if you want. Well, let's head back over. I like for noodles using a pan with some raised edges is really just, it's like Splash Mountain otherwise, and we don't need Splash Mountain. So let's do that. Let me move. There we go. Whoop. Move this back here. Trying to get the angle. There we go. Nice. I'm so proud of my tech abilities. It's crazy. Okay. Pan here. We've got our pan going. We are going to, I already roasted up some vegetables here. And I use the same veggies because that's what we're about here. We're about using, being versatile with our veggies, and they're all delicious. So we can literally cross-utilize a bunch of ingredients. That's what we're doing here. It's the perfect way to show that off. So that is the roasted veggies. In the meantime, I'm gonna get the sauce together. So just so you can see, I'll place it. I'm gonna place this in here, and we'll put the sauce together. So the sauce begins. Getting all my little ingredients over here. Okay, the sauce begins with a garlic clove, which I love garlic, so I'm gonna use 3 cloves of garlic. And I am going to use a garlic press because I just don't feel like not using one and doing this on the cutting board. So got our pressed garlic here, and then after that we have got our 1 tablespoon of either tahini, any other nut butter. I'm using almond butter, creamy almond butter. Makes the most sense here. I'm gonna eyeball this a little bit, but yeah, so good. Got our almond butter, and then we have next our you know what? We got tahini. Sorry guys. Tahini is over here. Let me get this out for later. Okay, and then we've got tahini. We're doing a tablespoon of this, a tablespoon of that. I love the blend, honestly. So that sounds absolutely perfect. 1 tablespoon of tahini, 1 tablespoon of almond butter. There we go. Keep that out because I know I'm going to use it again for something. Who knows? Okay. And then we've got 2 tablespoons of tamari here. 2 tablespoons of tamari, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Here. Okay, I'll put the tahini back. Like, cannot help but clean as I go every single time. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Put in, oops, got all over my fingers, which is fine. I love maple syrup. And then a little bit of sesame oil. Back, and then some red pepper flakes over here. If you don't like spice, you can totally skip the red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna do a little bit, and then where are they? There we go. Garlic and onion powder. A little bit here. A little bit in here. And then just a little bit, I'm gonna just put a tiny bit of ice cold water just to get it like running smoothly. There we go, tiny bit. And then we're gonna whisk this up. Okay, I just don't want this to splash everywhere. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of thinking if I put it in here, at least it's meant to go in this pan anyways, so it can't be wrong, right? Okay. You can also, a sauce like this, God forbid I forget any of that little ginger or garlic. A sauce like this you can also blend in like a blender, NutriBullet, whatever, but this is easy. If you have nut butter that's just like, a little harder to whisk a little bit. It's a little bit, I don't know, been in the pantry for a little bit. It gets hardened. That's a good time to pull out the blender, but This isn't too bad. There we go. Okay. We've got our blended nut butter. And then we are going to turn this on. And I'm gonna just add in, oh, I also already I used rice noodles, just like some regular rice noodles. If you store rice noodles like this, or any, even like sweet potato noodles, if you store them in ice cold water in the fridge, you can use them for like up to 5 days or so after you make them. If you just put them in Tupperware or whatever, you have Pyrex, you know I love a Pyrex, and put them in ice cold water, it will keep, it'll keep the noodles actually, and they won't get hardened. It keeps them, the integrity will still be there. So just, if you're ever not wanting to use a full, if you accidentally made too much or you don't want to use the whole thing of noodles, store them literally in ice cold water. It's perfect. Okay, so let's, there we go. Where is this? And my napkin, because my hand is wet from doing that. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna put all the veggies that skip that. We're gonna put the noodles in first. I'm gonna make them all because one of my favorite things to do is give away some extras to friends. One of my fave things to do. I'm a giver. That's why I'm excited for the Everlast offer. I love it. I'm excited for 10 of you to try. And if there's more than 10 of you, I will bring that to Gonzo, and I feel like he might be able to work something out. But for the meantime, I got 10. So that is exciting and cool and great. And all those wonderful adjectives. Okay. Yeah, so it's cool. I know that Gonzo, he loves this community and the things, the world of my community, and just how much everyone cares about gut health and health in general, and Eat Prep Love is you guys are all the perfect sort of people who would just get behind a program like Everlast. I don't mean to sound salesy or pluggy or whatever. It's just a startup, and it's something I believe in. And I know you will love it, and it's free. It's free right now. So just literally, why not? If you're interested at all, again, just shoot me an email, DM me. I'm also going to include a link to sign up in the recording email that I always send out. So you will see that link. Don't even worry about it. I'd love some of you to try it. So very, very exciting. Okay, got our sauce in here. It's okay if there's a little bit of starchy water. It's actually going to bind really nicely to the sauce, and I'm about to put the vegetables in too. So it's all just going to thicken up and work out. So, I mean, you probably heard maybe if you're making a pasta with tomato sauce to reserve some pasta water. I literally have some in my fridge right now, but to reserve it because it's that starchy water that really binds things, and I really need to look more into what else it does. It's such a superpower of a ingredient that not enough people talk about. So I'll let you know the more I find out about those things. Okay, let's add in our veggies here. So we've got, just a recap, cabbage, sugar, snap peas. Snap peas, if you want to use green beans, that's fine, but we roasted them. I'm using oyster mushrooms, some zucchini, and it's really, really yummy. Oh, I also put some shallots in here, which honestly sounds really good. I think I just saw it and was like, why not? So you can't really screw this up. You honestly couldn't pick any veggies that wouldn't work. You could put peas in here. I love peas and everything, so that would totally work. Okay. I'll add this parchment paper because we don't need it. Okay. And give this a little twirl. It looks so... This is my favorite kind of dish, I think. Besides, you know, when we made those macro bowls, I think that was at the very beginning of Eat Prep Love, like probably a January moment, but this is like a good like nutty noodle situation is delish. I end up, you know, squeezing some like lime on. I end up putting some togarashi on, which is like a Korean crushed red pepper. Do you see how the sauce is already also like thickening up? The water is totally gone. Now it's just this really nice creamy sauce. I put some cilantro on the side, totally optional, so I didn't add it. But if you have it, you know, mint, even basil would be really yummy. People don't really think basil's usually just reserved for like Italian dishes, I feel like, and it does not get its love for you know, even like more Asian leaning dishes, and I'm telling you right now that it deserves love in some of your Asian leaning noodle dishes. It smells so aromatic, so good. Yum. Wonderful. I'm not gonna overcook this. One thing about rice noodles, they can be easily overcooked. And I'm gonna reheat them. I'm not eating this right now because it's 3 o'clock and I want this for dinner. So I'm just gonna put this here. I'm gonna probably remove it just a tiny little bit from the heat. Let it cool down, and then if I just kept cooking this, it would end up breaking apart. So just cooking it to this level, even if you left some of the liquid in here, if we're gonna eat it the next day, you were making it now with me to reheat later, just like I am. I could have left it a little bit more liquidy per se, but I didn't. I just wanted to show you what the final product should really look like. But otherwise, I would leave it just a touch more liquidy. So when you reheat it, you don't have to really focus on, you know, why are my noodles all breaking apart? Okay. So while the protein, the protein, the veggies, you know, the stuff is in the oven, while that noodle situation, I don't know which way you're looking, while that's all cooling down, I'm gonna make the salad. So we're making a Mediterranean lentil salad. I already got put this back here. I already got my lentils together. I'm gonna use some kale. I'll massage it in like a second, but I already made some lentils. It's so much cheaper just to make your own lentils, and lentils are the easiest kind of bean to rehydrate and make, as opposed to like other beans. They're so simple. So I made a bunch of lentils. I am gonna use kale, as I mentioned. If you didn't, that's fine. If you're not using kale or you don't really want a lettuce situation, here, I'm just gonna point this down. If you don't want a lettuce situation, it's not a big deal. Sometimes, you know, salads, you know, can be without lettuce, even though I prefer them with. It's okay. So let's get some gratta so I can massage this. Sounds so funny, doesn't it? By the way, we're adding parsley to this. When you're massaging kale, the best thing you could do when you're using herbs, which you always should be, in my opinion, if you're making a salad, you should add them in before you massage your kale. It makes the herbs like that much more aromatic and nice. Fun fact too, if you're ever making like a drink or something, a mocktail, a cocktail, whatever, and you're playing bartender, if you clap an herb into your drink, then it makes it aromatic too. So literally, if I took this and let's just say, I don't know, I'm making a marg because I love a margarita, and I usually clap cilantro into it. So you just go and you smell it, I'll give it another clap. I smell it like right away. It's so, so yummy and like makes everything taste so much better. Mint too. And a margarita. Just thinking about that. It's cold out, so I'm not dying for one this second. Not dying for one ever, but you know what I mean. Okay. So gonna add some grazza in. And then getting out my handy gloves so that I'm not making a whole mess. There we go. Okay. Glove one. Okay. I'm going to massage this together. I destemmed I thought I did. I have one pesky stem. But just really massaging this to get it broken down helps it to digest more or better in terms of kale. Let me rephrase this. When you're eating kale and you're making a kale salad at home, massage your kale. If it's not massaged, it just is so much rougher on your system. It's kind of the usual thing I get asked about, which is like, you know, I'm eating these foods, I'm eating like the right things, the healthy things, the raw, whatever. Kale is always the culprit. But I'm eating all the raw things. Why does my, like, it won't digest, or I feel just like, ugh, after, like, it just doesn't really vibe with me. Why is that? One of the things I would say is make sure your kale is massaged, because when it's massaged, it's easier, it will be easier to break down in your body. Another reason for that, you know, the whole, like, I'm eating raw veggies, what the heck? Like, why do I feel like garbage? Is you should really, if you're eating raw veggies, they should be raw, leafy, hydrating greens, or just just hydrating vegetables. When I say hydrating leafy greens, I mean lettuces, I mean cucumbers, I mean carrots, I mean celery. It shouldn't be those cruciferous, and it sucks because you see that all the time on these like charcuterie boards, but you shouldn't really be eating the raw, raw cauliflower or raw broccoli or whatever. It's funky, it's weird. It's not meant to be eaten raw, really. It's not really full of a lot of water. So those are really meant to be cooked. That's one of my gut health spiels for this session. I'm chopped up already some of the cucumber and the tomato, adding that in. Oop. And then I diced up some shallot, adding that in as well. Getting a little bit in here, there you go. And then we will add in, I'm not gonna use all this. Another cool thing, you can freeze lentils or any beans. You can freeze them. Obviously would be better if you weren't eating them like as they are. It'd be better like once you thaw them out, it would be best to put them in some sort of a stew or something. But you can freeze, if you overdo it, you can always freeze these things like lentils. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, but I'll add in a little bit now. I know I mentioned, because this is supposed to be like a lentil, like super lentil salad, to add in a cup. So if you're not using kale or whatever, or if you just really love lentils, go ahead and add your cup. That's like totally fine. I'm just not, because I'm gonna make this for one of my friends who's going into an office. Okay, the timer's going off. Wonderful timing as well. Here we go. So we've got our, here we go, veggies over here. These are obviously cooking up. It smells so good. These are cooking up really nicely. Look at how gorge. I don't know if you can even tell. You can tell, yeah. This eggplant cooks. I love like the thinness, and I just love an Asian like eggplant. I think it's become one of my favorite things. The traditional, like sort of like, or I guess not traditional, conventional Italian eggplant, it's really called, I guess, that you see in the supermarket. that is my fave for like baba ganoush, which is not an Italian dish, but hey. But yeah, this looks really good. And it's totally cooked through. I'm gonna put it in just for like, I think like 10 more minutes or so, just to like really get this even gooier, and I want these to cook a bit more. So I'm gonna put in for 10 more minutes. Everyone's oven's different, so it's totally up to you. I have a friend calling me. I'm gonna decline it. Okay, and then let's see. Let's go back to this timer. I'm gonna put in 10. Oopsie. 10 minutes. Start. There you go. Okay. So we've got our salad. And then what else? I put in shallots. You can put in red onion like I noted. I'm going to put this back in my fridge because I really don't like them to sit out. And then the dressing is really, really, really easy. Let me grab a lemon. I'll show you. Honestly, one of the easiest dressings you can make, and I posted one on my Instagram last week, which is just stuff that you likely have in your fridge, but another really easy one is this, which I'm going to use also like half of a lemon, and grab this. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So just to show you how easy the salad dressing is. Oop. I need to get more of these small guys for this purpose. I love the clear so you guys can all see what we're working with. So easiest thing on the planet. A little bit of this, a little olive oil. You can keep this in your fridge too. In another, I have a bunch of these like just clear squirt bottles, and they're everything to me, especially like an easy dressing. I love just having them. You can order them on Amazon. They're fabulous, and especially as a chef, I couldn't ask for more. So, squeezed in half of a lemon. If you're doing more, you want to bulk it, use a whole lemon, double this recipe. And then we are going to add in a little garlic powder, and then a little salt. Let me grab the pepper. Okay, a little garlic powder. There the pepper. And I guess I'll use this salt. It's so coarse. I'm just gonna show you. Look how, can you see from here? Look how coarse that is. It's ridiculous. I'm adding it in. I'm like dreading it, but I'm doing it. Okay. And then I'll use my little whisk. Cute is this thing? I'll put this on the side because, again, making this for a friend. I love doing that. It smells so good, if you can imagine. Just some olive oil, lemon. The simplest dressings are the best. That's why I literally cringe my heart out if someone is using like garlic expressions or something. I call that one out because I see it in people's fridges all the time, and it's crazy. So this is the dressing, the consistency, and it's super creamy. I'm going to show you actually under here. You see? It's super, oh god, that light, you guys, sorry. But you can still see, I think you can still see, it's super creamy. I mean, it's funny, like how people think there's always like cream or something in their dressing. Sometimes there is, and it's worth asking. But often, like a lot of times, you don't need actual dairy or any cream in your dressing for it to be this creamy and thick and viscous. God, I hate these words. But you know what I mean, right? So that's kind of it. I mean, we have, how many minutes are left on there's 6 minutes left on the sheet pan, but cook it as you please. The chicken, if you're using chicken, just cut it in half, make sure it's fully cooked, but that timing that I gave is typically the time that I use for chicken, though I make sure it's pounded a little thinner. I always ask the people at Whole Foods or I also live by another market that I trust for chicken, fish, all that. To pound it for me, they do that. It's a great thing to do. Make sure everything cooks evenly. Chicken can be kind of funky because it's not always so even. A chicken breast specifically. But yeah, let me see if there's any questions, but I don't see any questions in here unless anyone has any. But if you do have questions, you can always message me. Again, write it in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is the spot for your questions. I say that because I want everyone to have visibility on my answers. Likely somebody else will have the same question as you. So please ask in the Facebook group. It's the best way to do things here, and so we can all get to know each other and chat even more. I'm gonna keep offering like more fun things. The Everlast beta membership is one thing that I just am really, really passionate about right now. It's something I'm really proud of, and I'm happy to be working with Gonzo, the founder, on, and so I really can't stress it enough. It's also, like I've said, been something that really has helped to get me through this, my whole like mental, emotional situation I'm going through, but also just like being a normal human with a busy life. It's for literally all the above. So I hope that you have an amazing week. Again, questions, you know where to go. I'll email you this recording along with the link so you can join Everlast and get one of those 10 spots, because I want that for you. So have an amazing week. I hope it's delicious. And send pictures because I want to see what you're making. I want to see every time. Have the best week. I love you all. Bye.